Namaste and welcome to Pramanik Astrology channel. I'm your host Prasad Mahadasha, help you raise your vibrations and become your true self with the help of Vedic astrology. Those who are watching it live, welcome to this live stream session. Today we are going to talk about the Dushtana Houses and what are the challenges and opportunities with the Dushtana Houses. Are they really bad, or is there anything which we can improve upon and get most out of these houses? What are these houses are for? Okay, so before we start our session, please let me know about it. If you're able to hear me properly, just put in AV okay, audio video okay. I'm just waiting for your response. Those who are live watching it, please respond to this. And those who want to learn Vedic astrology, those who want to learn Vedic astrology step by step, I would highly recommend you guys to go and yes, okay, AV okay, yes, Neil, I hope I pronounced it right. Karonita, welcome. Neha, welcome to the live stream. I hope you're doing great. And praying for your highest good and greatest good always. So those who want to learn Vedic astrology step by step, you can go to this live stream, go to this. So those who are watching it live, okay, so you can go and watch this. Go and register here. This is a 3-hour workshop. This is a free workshop which will help you get started into Vedic astrology. Okay, and if you're watching my channel for the first time, I would highly recommend you to go and watch that free workshop for 3 hours before we get lost into this ocean of internet and never see each other again. So there is a reason why you're watching this video. This is your confirmation that you are on the right path to learn Vedic astrology. And all the blessings are on your way. And that's why you are here. So I welcome all of you, those who are watching it. And I'm praying for your highest good and greatest growth through this channel and through this live stream. Okay, now let's get started. So okay, so how many of you know the Dushtana houses? Can you just name the Dushtana houses? If you can put in Dushtana houses, what are the Dushtana houses? I want this session to be interactive, and I want you guys to put in the comments. Otherwise, it becomes boring if it is a one-way communication. Yes, Nehaji. Yes. 6, 8, 12. Amazing. Yes. So 6, 8, and 12 are the, yes, exactly. Yes, Patni. Neha, Patnita, yes, you're right. So 6, 8, and 12 are the Dushtana houses. And these are the houses. If you look at these houses, let me just pull in any chart and then see where these houses are. Okay. So if you look at this, these are the Kendra houses. This is a Gemini ascendant. I have randomly picked up the chart. Let me put Ascendant to avoid the confusion. Okay, so now this is Leo Ascendant chart. So 5, 8, 11, and 2 are Kendra houses. I want you guys to tell me what are the Rashis in the Dushtana houses, 6, 8, and 12. Can anybody tell me? Please put it into the comment section. What are the Rashis in the 6th house, 8th house, and 12th house? I'm waiting for your answers. Capricorn, Pisces, and Cancer. Yes. Yes, 6th is Capricorn. Yes, correct. So you know it. Okay, so what happens with this Dushtana houses? Dushtana houses often are the most challenging houses, and these are the houses which bring in the growth as well. Challenges bring the growth in your life, and once you are in a comfort zone, you are not growing. So I always believe that these are the houses, and if you look at the location of these houses, these are adjacent to the Kendra houses. 6 and 8 are supporting houses to the 7th house of marriage. 12th house is the supporting house for ascendant, that is yourself. Okay, so 6th house is 12th to the 7th house. Okay, so the biggest 6th house is the biggest challenge for your relationships, because this is 12th to your 7th house. So any affliction or any planet aspecting or placed in here is going to impact your relationship depth. 6th house has many other meanings as well, but today we are looking at it from what are the challenges of the 6th house. 6th house is about diseases, and more so 6th house is also disagreements, is also about the loans, is also about divorces. Why? Because this is the loss to the relationship, and 6th house is one of the Dushtana house. Okay, and another thing about this is 6th house is 8 places, like ascendant is 8 places away from this 6th house, and 6th house is 6 places away from the ascendant. So this is kind of a 6-8 axis with the ascendant, with the jiva, with the self, with the spirit, with your own body. Okay, that's why this house is about the diseases. This is 6th to the ascendant, and ascendant is 8th from this house. Okay, and this 6th house is also 8th from the 11th house. So this is the 11th house, Gemini sign of it. So 5th house is 7th from the 11th, and 6th house is 8th from the 11th. So 6th house is 12th to the 7th and is 8th to the 11th house of ultimate gains. Okay, so if you look at this, it seems like the most challenging house of the horoscope, but at the same time, if you look at this, The sixth house is 10th to your bhagya. So whatever you are doing every day is going to impact your destiny, is going to impact your fortune. So consistency is the cheat code for the bhagya. Daily routine, what you put in every single day is going to change your destiny, is going to make your fortune. So the ninth house, sixth house is 10th from the ninth. Okay, so whenever you have these, so first thing you have to see, whenever you're analyzing a birth chart, first thing you have to see is where the sixth lord is going. So wherever sixth house lord goes, it brings in all the sixth house significations. But along with that, the good things about sixth house is consistency, hard work, discipline, daily routines. All these things can be seen with the sixth house. So any planet or the lord of the sixth house, you have to analyze it with these things. Okay. So this is the first way of looking at the challenges and the opportunities of the Dushtana houses. Okay. The next Dushtana house is the eighth house. Eighth house is one of the most Dushtana house of the birth chart. Why? Why eighth house is the most difficult house of all? First thing, eighth house is about the endings, is about the death. Death is nothing but there is no tomorrow. Your karma stops there, no matter what. Whether you die naturally or you have been, somehow your life journey has stopped. It hardly matters. There is no tomorrow. That's what eighth house is. And in most of the cases, death is sudden. Eighth house is about sudden things. Death is sudden. Eighth house is not the house of death, but it is the house of longevity, and more so, it is the house of ups and downs, birth, death, and rebirth. That's what eighth house is. Eighth house is a hidden house. So any planet placed in here will have the quality of secrecy in it. Let's say you have Mercury placed into the eighth house. Eighth house is Mercury is the planet of communication. So the planet of communication is into the house of secrecy. So you have the lot of people will come to you and will share their secret. Okay, and you will have the secrets of a lot of people. Eighth house is also about occult and mysticism, and Mercury is the planet of communication. So it is nothing but communicating the eighth house things. But eighth house things are hidden things. So again, it will make you get drawn towards the eighth house things. And this is how you look at the eighth house things. Then why eighth house is considered as the most difficult or most Dushtana house? This is because the most benefic house of the chart is the ninth house. Why? Ninth house is the house of Bhagya. Bhagya is nothing but, we talked about the Bhaga, the deity of Bhaga, which is the deity associated with Purva Falguni. And a lot of words come from the Bhaga. Bhagwan, Bhagyavan, and a lot of things. That's why the ninth house is the house of fortune. Bhagya is the house of wealth. Along with the Kedra houses, 1, 5, 9, 11 are also considered as wealth-giving houses. Ninth house is also the Dharma house, the ultimate Dharma house. First 5 and 9 are Dharma houses. So the ninth house is the last the ultimate Dharma house. And 8th house is 12th to all these good things. 8th house is the loss of all these things. Loss of dharma, loss of fortune, loss of all the good things of 9th house. That's why 8th house is misfortune, because it is the loss to the 9th house of bhagya. So you will oftentimes hear people saying, most of the times sudden things happen, and most of the times they are not favorable, because there is 12th to the 9th house. But 9th house is also the house of travel, and this is the 12th to the 9th house. Now you know more about the 8th house. This is the way you should look at the houses with their signification. Now you put in the lordship of the planets into this. Now you add what the planets placed in there, like we discussed about the Mercury in the 8th house. You put in the signification of the planet, you add the element of the house, and then you have a combination of what you can expect from that placement into that house. Okay, so 8th house is unpredictable house. 8th house is very difficult house to predict. And 8th lord, wherever it goes, you have to be really careful as an astrologer or as an person who is analyzing the chart. 8th lord would be somewhere, 6th lord would be somewhere, and it means something. Okay, we'll discuss about that, what it means, but you have to be careful with these lordships as well. Wherever 8th lord goes, you would experience ups and downs in life in that area of your life. Okay, for example, let's say your 8th lord is going into the 10th house. 10th house is the house of your career. 8th house is the house of ups and downs. A lot of the ups and downs in your career. Now you will experience the ups and downs in your career. Not only downs, but ups and downs. Not the consistency, but up and down. And you will experience it even more when you are going through the Mahadasha and Antardasha of, let's say, 10th and 8th. For example, let's say in this chart, let me see if we have that combination. For example, if this is the chart, then if I have to see, Taurus is placed into the 10th house and Rahu is placed into the 8th house. So during the Rahu Jupiter, okay, or the Jupiter Rahu, this one, okay, so during this time, this person, either this Jupiter Rahu or the Rahu Jupiter, then you will see that this Jupiter in the 10th house and the Rahu in the 8th house is activating, it is activating these two houses. One is a Kendra house, a prominent house about your work and what you do and your status in society and the ups and downs associated with it. So these Jupiter and Rahu are placed in here and waiting for their time to come to manifest what they mean and promise in your chart. So that's how you look at the 8th house of the chart, which is 12th to this. And you know, whatever we are talking, 6, 8, 12 are 6, 8, and 12 because we are counting it from Lagna. If you look at the 8th house is 12th to the 9th, but 11th to the 10th house is a house of gains for the your career. Is the house of like 10th house for your gains. Like let's say if you're going through the Mahadasha of these three planets, Venus, Sun, Moon, because they're placed in the 11th house, and Rahu, you will experience sudden gains. Maybe you will get inheritance during this time, because 8th house is also about inheritance. Rahu is an amplifying planet which amplifies things. It shows big things. So it shows big inheritance during this time. Okay, so this is how you look at it. This is how you look at the 8th house. And when you count it from the different houses, it takes your reading to the next level. And this is what we call as bhavat bhava, like house to house relationship. And the more you explore this house to house relationship, your predictions, your predictions become deeper. And that's what separates good astrologer from the best astrologers. Because now 8th house is not only 8th house for them, now it is open for them. It's 12th to the 9th, 11th to the 10th, 10th to the 11th, 9th to the 12th house. Can you believe that? That 8th house of ups and downs, which is 12th to the 9th, is 9th to the 12th. So it's like a bhagya to the 12th house of foreign things, and so on. And you can apply it to all the houses, and then you would have so much information about this chart now, which makes it easier for you to understand what these 6, 8, 12 houses are doing in. 12th house is the house which is 12th to the ascendant. And if you look at these Dushtana houses, these are the houses which are always closer to the Kendra houses. 6th house is 12th to the 7th, 8th house is 2nd to the 7th, and 12th house is to the ascendant, which is Kendra. Okay, so these are the houses which are impacting the most important Kendra houses. 12th house is the house of loss, and 12th house is also the house of enlightenment, where you lose yourself, you lose your ascendant, first house, body, self, ego, everything. And that's when you're enlightened. When you don't have the desires, that's when you're really enlightened. 12th house is the house of isolation. 12th house is the house of being alone. And when you're, and I always believe that you have to be alone. When you're alone, you're in the best company. You're in the company of yourself. And then you would understand yourself better. And that's the most important factor which will help you grow towards your goal. Okay, isolation is very important. Separation is very important. Being alone, away from the crowd, not with ego that I'm someone special, but being into your own work, working on your craft. And that's when the isolation comes in. And you will see, oftentimes see successful people, they will talk about their period of isolation when they are going through certain things and they are working upon their own self. That is important. That is the 12th house. Then why is a Dushtana house? Because it is the last to the self. The first house is the body, and body is the most important part of the life. We experience life because of this body. Okay, there can be beings, we can be into other realm where we experience existence with through different things. We are not talking about it. But if we are into this body and we are going to leave this body. During this, the 12th house is the loss, is the enlightenment, where you go back to your home, is where you go back to the God. And if you look at this, 12th house is second to the 11th. 12th house is the Dhanasthan to the Lavasthan, and is 11th from the second house of gains. It is 11th from the second house of wealth. So it's the gains from the foreign sources, and that's how the 12th house, when we put in different references through different houses, it opens up and tells you so many secrets about itself. Okay, so these are the Dushtana houses and the opportunities involved with this. So my suggestion to you, an exercise would be to go and check your chart or anybody's chart and see which are the houses ruled by these planets, which are the houses, which are the rulers of these houses. Okay, and one more thing you have to do is you have to see if you have a which Rashi is ruling here in 6, 8, and 12. Whether it is Mool Trikon Rashi or it is other Rashi. What is the Mool Trikon Rashi? Each planet rules two houses. Okay, like Mars rules Aries and Scorpio, Venus rules Taurus and Libra, Saturn rules Aquarius and Capricorn, Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. Okay, so all the odd signs are the multiple signs. It's easy to remember, right? So all the female signs or even signs are just signs ruled by that house, but the male signs or the odd signs are the multiple signs. So your exercise is to go and check the 6, 8, and 12 houses and see which Rashi is coming in. Whether it is a Mool Trikon sign or it is the sign of which is odd, the even sign. You have to see, first you have to see this. Okay. Another thing with these Dushtana houses, which you have to study, is the lordship of these houses. Because lordship of these houses create different yogas. One of the important yogas created by this is the Vipreet Raj Yoga. Vipreet Raj Yoga is when you have a Lord of the 6, 8, and 12 placed into either 6, 8, and 12. That's when it creates Vipreet Raj Yoga. Okay, and in fact it gives you good results, even though they are the Dushtana houses, they still bring in the good results. Okay, so yes, now if you have any questions around this, please share that. Let's go through the questions if you have. If Dara karaka is in the 12th house, how to keep relationships and love with partner healthy and happy? Dara karaka being in the 12th house doesn't really mean you will have challenging relationship. Okay, but let's say if you have 7th lord into the 12th house, it means something. But because the charakarakas of Gemini, they can, they keep changing. So even if you have it in the 12th house, you have to see what it means to your chart. When I say what it means is first the lordship of that planet. Whether it is ruling the Kendra or it is ruling Kendra and Trine, and it is becoming Yoga Karaka. Okay, so when seventh lord is in the 12th house, what exactly is happening is, first thing you have to see which is the planet which is ruling and going into seventh to the 12th. Seventh lord in the 12th house. The 12th house is 6 places away from the seventh house. So the seventh house is the house of relationship, 12th house is the house of expenses, and this is 6 places away from it. So what it shows is you might have to spend on the health of your spouse, or if it is a benefic planet like moon, Venus, Mercury, that what it shows is your spouse will change your habits. Your spouse will change your bad habits and will install the healthy habits in you. Why? Because sixth house is the house of routines, is the house of your things which you do daily, and now seventh lord is going into the 12th. Don't get scared just because you have seventh lord into the, don't get afraid just because seventh lord is in the 12th house. Don't just watch any isolated YouTube video or any blog post without any context. That astrologer might be saying things which are right, but you are not able to understand it. Okay, so don't just jump into any video, watch it, and then feel bad about it. Okay, so when you have Mercury with Sun, what it shows is, it shows your wife would be, or your husband would be very keen on changing the habits for you. It will bring in healthy habits for you, and your partner might be associated with health and nutrition as well. Okay, let's go to the next question. Jupiter in Leo in the 6th and Sun in the Pisces in the 1st. Okay, so Jupiter in Leo in the 6th, so it's like you are Pisces ascendant and Sun is in the ascendant. So the 6th lord is going into the 1st house. Okay, so what is your question? Jupiter is retrograde. Okay, okay, so what about that? Jupiter is retrograde and is in the 6th house. Okay, so when you have planet like Jupiter in the 6th house, first thing, 6th house, Jupiter is the planet of knowledge. The planet of knowledge is coming into the house of diseases, is the house of, what does this exchange mean? Yeah, whenever you have any kind of a exchange, exchanges are powerful, no matter which exchanges are happening. Okay, no matter which exchange, even if your 12th lord is getting exchanged with the 8th house, I would consider it as a powerful exchange, because any exchange I give it some kind of a strength. I consider it as a strength to the chart, because these are the special yogas. Exchanges are the special yogas. Parivartan are very powerful, and if you have more Parivartan yoga, the beauty of it is, you may not see that the chart doesn't look like great, but it becomes powerful. You should check out the chart of uh, Indira Gandhi ji. Okay, you should definitely check out the chart of Indira Gandhi ji. You would get the birth times into reliable source and check out her chart. Even if her birth time is off, that won't matter, because she has so many exchanges. She has so many exchanges. Okay. So yes, exchanges are good. Right now, Jupiter retrograde is going on. Okay, I got confused whether you have Jupiter in Leo with exchange with Sun in Pisces and is retrograde in your birth chart. That's what you want to say. Or the Jupiter, which is retrograde, is going over the Taurus. That's what you're talking about. I'm confused about that. Please clarify. Mahadasha is going on. Which Mahadasha? Hi, good to see you again. Hi, freaking awesome. Nice to see you. Welcome back. So good to see you. Okay. Eighth Lord in the fifth house. What can we expect? Okay, so eighth house is the house of ups and downs and is coming into the fifth house. Fifth house is the house of your children. Fifth house is also the house of your uh, education. So what it shows is breaks in education, ups and downs, or the breaks in education, or some kind of a separation with the children as well can be or experience. Like your children is going to a hostel, something like that. You might experience that. But for that, you need to see the activation of those houses. For example, let's say you have some ascendant and eighth house and the fifth house is getting activated, just like we saw for Jupiter and Rahu. You have to see that. Okay, I hope this has helped you. Thank you so much, sir. You're very blessed you saw my question. Yes, this live stream is all about talking to you guys and being with you. You know, this live session, the purpose of the live session is to be with you and try to answer your question and to help you. Okay. Okay, and that's why I read all the queries and all the questions and I answer as many as I could. Okay, thank you. Let's go more to the next question. Jupiter is retrograde in my chart and is in exchange with Sun and Jupiter. Jupiter Mahadasha is going on. Okay, so it's a good placement, I would say, because Jupiter is ruling the ascendant for Pisces and is ruling the 10th house and is in exchange with the 6th house. So what it shows is you will have a rise in your career during this Mahadasha. Okay, but again, for that, you need to check the Varga chart, and again, you need to see so many things. But first house, but the uh, first house Sun represents health. Sun loves to be in the first house. Okay, so that's why it's a good placement. And Sun and Jupiter are friends as well. So it's a very good placement. Yes, I experienced breaks in my education. Okay, wow, thanks. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm happy to help you. Okay, so what else? So do we have any questions? I'm waiting for your question. Someone asked me about Saturn Mahadasha and the Saturn's placement. And I asked them to join this live session. So if they're watching it, or maybe they're watching it after some time, not live, I want to ask them, I want to explain them what it really means and how do we look at it. I think Sanchit Bhatia emailed me for that. Okay, so let me help that. Let me help with that. So Saturn, let's say if you are into Saturn, for this person, let's say this is a Leo ascendant and Saturn is in the 7th house, and let's say this person is going through the Saturn Mahadasha. So the placement of Saturn shows the impact of Saturn, where Saturn is, and Saturn has some special aspects as well. So Saturn rules certain houses, Capricorn and Aquarius. He is placed in certain houses, need not always be in Capricorn and Aquarius, maybe anywhere. This creates a lordship of Saturn into that ascendant. Another thing to look out for is if this Saturn is functional malefic or functional benefic for that lagna. And then you should know the complete effect of Saturn Mahadasha. And then you have to apply it with respect to that house. In this example, Saturn is placed into the 7th house in its own sign and is also ruling the 6th house. And now you're going through the Saturn Mahadasha. So it will activate the 6th house Capricorn, 7th house Aquarius, and the 7th house because Saturn is placed into the 7th house. Apart from it, all the nakshatras Dasha ruled by Saturn will also get activated, but we are not going to get into that. But you should make note of this. You have to see these things. And let's say, whenever the moment you get into the Saturn Mahadasha for this person, the relationship and everything related with relationship would come to the forefront, would become your priority. And no matter how indifferent you are with respect to relationship, or you don't want to get into relationship, or whatever it is, that will become the primary focus of your Saturn Mahadasha. Okay, this is one way of looking at it. There are many more ways to look at it, through nakshatra, through dasha, through Varga charts, through Gemini, Chara dashas, and so on. But this is the starter. This is the first basic way of looking at chart, dasha, and the rulership of the planet, and how it is placed into the chart. So whenever a house is aspected by Saturn, you should be relaxed. You should be happy about it, that it is under the audit of Saturn. It is under the scrutiny and audit of the Saturn, and it will correct you even if you are going wayward or you're distracted. It will bring you on the path. But if any house or planet is not aspected by Saturn, then you should be worried about that house more, because you're more likely to make mistakes during that period or with respect to those houses. Okay, so yes, Sanchit Bhatiaji, this is how we look at the Saturn's placement with respect to the Dasha. Very good question, important question, and you can apply it to all the Dashas and all the planets. And those who are watching it and have some doubts about it, you can always comment into, you put your comment, and I read all the comments and will reply to your comments. Okay. Okay, what are the questions? I have triangle between 1st Mercury, 5th Mars, and 9th house Moon. So ruler of 9 is in 5, ruler of 5 is in 1. What is my Dharma? Okay, so whenever you have these placements, whenever you have planets placed into the Dharma house, what it shows is Dharma is what your nature is. Whenever we are referring to the Dharma, we are not talking about religion. Though one meaning of the 9th house religion is the literal religion, but when we say Dharma, we refer to the Swadharma, is the very nature. And the very nature of the human is consciousness, is Chaitanya. The very nature of the human is to rise above. Okay, so if you have more and more planets into 159, you would be aligned to the Dharma. Okay, you would be drawn towards doing right things in your life. So the answer to your question, what is the dharma? So dharma is consciousness. Chaitanya, our consciousness, is the human dharma. Okay, that's why understanding yourself becomes our nature. Our nature is Chaitanya, is consciousness. I hope this has helped you. How about if you have Yogakaraka planet in Dushtana house? Yeah. So if you have a Yogakaraka planet in Dushtana house will bring in challenges, and the Yogakaraka planet will bring in the best out of it. So what it shows is there would be challenges, but you would be able to overcome them. And when you would be able to do it, look at the Dasha. Look at the Dasha and see when this is getting activated. And then align the transit to this Dasha. That will create the real picture. That will bring in the real picture for you. Okay? I hope this has helped you. So yes, guys, this was Dushtana Houses. As much as I can hold, grasp, and share with you guys. If you have any question, please put them into the comment section. Sending you tons of positive energy, sending you high vibrations. See you in the next videos. Love and peace. Namaste.